The cold silence of space stretched endlessly, broken only by the faint hum of Gia's failing escape pod. Her fingers trembled against the cracked control panel, blood like silvery liquid seeping from a wound near her temple. Outside the viewport, debris from her homeworld, the once vibrant Meridian civilization, scattered like broken dreams across the cosmic canvas. Gia remembered the attack with horrifying clarity. The Obsidian Collective's massive battleships had descended without warning, their weapon systems cutting through Meridian defenses like heated plasma through soft metal. Massive energy cannons turned entire cities into dust within seconds. Millions of lives, her people, her family, vanished in a heartbeat. Her escape was nothing short of miraculous. As the youngest quantum engineer in her civilization's history, Gia had secretly developed an experimental stealth module. When the initial assault began, she activated the prototype, allowing her tiny research vessel to slip through the massive destruction undetected. The module burned out almost immediately after her escape, leaving her drifting with limited life support. Inside the cramped pod, holographic memories flickered. Her mother's laugh, her father's scientific diagrams, the vibrant blue forests of Meridian that now existed only in digital memory. The pod's oxygen recyclers worked desperately, creating a thin layer of breathable atmosphere. Suddenly, distant sensors pinged. Something massive approached. The Starweaver, a human exploration vessel, detected an unusual energy signature. Its advanced scanning systems picked up the faint distress signal from Gia's damaged pod. Captain Hyun Park, a seasoned explorer with decades of space navigation, leaned forward, his experienced eyes analyzing the strange readings. "That's no standard debris," he muttered, adjusting the ship's trajectory. "Siwoo, run a comprehensive scan." Navigation Officer Siwoo's fingers danced across holographic interfaces. Complex algorithms processed the incoming data, revealing fragments of an alien technological signature never before encountered by human explorers. "Captain, it's a living vessel," Siwoo reported, his voice a mix of excitement and caution. "Minimal. Life signs. Definitely not from any known galactic registry." The Starweaver's massive gravitational stabilizers moved carefully, approaching the damaged pod. Precision robotic arms extended, designed for delicate deep space rescue operations. These weren't crude mechanical appendages, but sophisticated, quantum-responsive manipulators capable of handling extremely fragile environments. Gia barely registered the external movement. Her consciousness drifted between survival instinct and memories of destruction. The pod's temperature was dropping, emergency systems failing one by one. Inside the Starweaver, medical preparations were already underway. Yoon, the ship's primary medical officer, prepared a specialized quarantine chamber designed to handle potentially unknown biological entities. Years of interstellar exploration had taught humans the importance of careful first contact protocols. The robotic arms carefully secured the pod, pulling it into the Starweaver's massive cargo bay. Specialized decontamination fields activated automatically, creating a safe environment for potential examination. When the pod's outer shell was finally breached, the rescue team discovered Gia, a being unlike anything they had ever encountered. Her silver-blue skin seemed to shimmer with an internal bioluminescence, her breathing shallow but consistent. Intricate biotechnological implants were visible beneath her skin, suggesting advanced physiological modifications. "She's alive," Hyun confirmed, her voice a blend of professional calm and genuine wonder. Gia's eyes flickered open, deep silver pools that seemed to contain entire universes of lost memories. For a moment, time itself seemed to pause. A lone survivor, rescued from the cosmic void, carrying the last remnants of an entire civilization. The Starweaver's crew looked at her with a mixture of scientific curiosity and profound compassion. They didn't see an alien, but a being who had survived unimaginable tragedy. Little did they know that Gia carried more than just her personal history. Within her modified neural pathways and the small data crystal attached to her survival suit lay the technological secrets of an entire civilization, technologies that could potentially revolutionize human understanding of the universe. As medical Systems stabilized her condition. Jia's consciousness began to reconstruct itself. Her journey, which seemed like an end, was actually a remarkable beginning. The vast, mysterious galaxy continued its endless dance, with the Starweaver carrying its most extraordinary passenger yet. End of Part 1. Would you like me to proceed with the next part of the story? The medical bay of the Starweaver hummed with soft electromagnetic pulses designed to create a healing environment. Jia's body lay suspended in a transparent regeneration chamber, her silver-blue skin slowly mending beneath layers of advanced medical technology. Yoon worked meticulously, her hands moving through holographic interfaces that tracked every microscopic change in Jia's physiological structure. The medical systems were struggling to understand the alien biology. Each scan revealed complex biotechnological networks that defied human medical understanding. Her cellular regeneration is unlike anything I've ever seen, Yoon muttered to Sewu, who stood observing from a nearby console. Her body seems to have multiple redundant systems. Where humans have one primary biological function, she has 3 or 4 backup mechanisms. Siwu adjusted his glasses, fascinated. The ship's computer continuously translated the subtle electromagnetic signals emanating from Jia's body. It was like listening to an entirely unknown language of biological communication. Suddenly, Jia's eyes snapped open, not with confusion or fear, but with a calculated awareness that suggested deep survival instincts. Her gaze swept the medical bay, analyzing every detail with remarkable speed. The medical chamber's protective field detected her consciousness and slowly retracted. Yoon remained calm, her hands positioned near emergency containment protocols, but her posture suggested curiosity rather than fear. "Can you understand me?" Yoon spoke slowly, knowing the ship's translation systems were working in real time. Jia's response was unexpected. Instead of verbal communication, she projected a series of holographic memories, fragmented images of her destroyed civilization. The medical bay's walls transformed into a 3-dimensional narrative of destruction, survival, and loss. The crew watched in stunned silence. Massive battleships burning, entire cities disintegrating, millions of lives vanishing in cosmic fire. And through it all, a single narrative of survival, Jia's desperate escape. Siwu felt something unprecedented. These weren't just images, but emotional experiences being transmitted directly through quantum neural pathways. He could feel the pain, the loss, the desperate hope of survival. The Obsidian Collective, Jia finally spoke, her voice a melodic frequency that seemed to resonate with the ship's own technological systems. They hunt, they destroy, they consume entire civilizations without remorse. Captain Hyun Park entered the medical bay, his decades of space exploration evident in his measured movements. He understood immediately that this was more than a rescue. This was first contact with a civilization on the brink of extinction. "We want to help you," Hyun said simply. "Your knowledge, your survival, they are important." Jia's attention focused on the data crystal attached to her survival suit, a technology so advanced that human scanning systems could barely comprehend its complexity. Within that small object lay the entire technological and cultural archive of the Meridian civilization. Over the next few hours, specialized translation protocols allowed deeper communication. Jia shared fragments of her civilization's history, HFY species that valued scientific exploration over territorial expansion. They had developed technologies that could heal planetary ecosystems, communicate with quantum consciousness, and understand the fundamental rhythms of cosmic existence. The Starweaver's crew realized they weren't just dealing with an alien survivor, but potentially the last repository of an extraordinary civilization's knowledge. Sharon completed her medical assessment. Physically, Jia would recover. Her biotechnological systems were rapidly adapting to the ship's environment. Psychologically, she carried wounds far deeper than any medical scanner could detect. "You are safe now," Siwu said, his voice carrying a genuine warmth that transcended species boundaries. Jia looked at him, not with the wide-eyed wonder of a rescued victim, but with the calculated assessment of a survivor who had seen the universe's darkest corners. Her next words would change everything. The Obsidian Collective will not stop. They are coming, and humanity must be prepared. The medical bay fell silent. Outside, stars continued their endless dance, witnessing a moment that would alter the course of galactic history. End of Part 2. Would you like me to continue with the next part of the story? The Star Weaver's strategic planning room buzzed with an electric tension. Holographic star maps flickered, displaying complex battle simulations that mapped the potential invasion routes of the Obsidian Collective. Gia stood at the center, her fingers dancing through quantum projection interfaces that made human technology look primitive by comparison. Their attack patterns follow a fractal expansion model, Gia explained, her voice cutting through the room's technological hum. They don't just conquer. They consume entire ecological systems, converting planetary resources into weapon components. Siwoo watched in amazement as she reconstructed battle strategies using nothing more than electromagnetic pulses from her neural implants. The data crystal she carried wasn't just a memory storage device. It was a living technological ecosystem containing centuries of meridian scientific knowledge. Captain Hyun leaned forward, his weathered hands gripping the holographic console. Decades of space exploration had prepared him for complicated scenarios, but this was different. This was survival on a galactic scale. The ship's primary quantum computer struggled to process the technological information Gia was sharing. Her civilization's understanding of energy manipulation was generations ahead of human comprehension. Quantum communication networks that could transmit information faster than light. Energy conversion systems that could turn planetary waste into pure technological potential. The Obsidian Collective uses a hive-mind technological network, Gia continued. Each ship is connected through quantum entanglement. Destroy one connection, and you create a cascading vulnerability in their entire system. Yoon, who had transitioned from medical officer to strategic analyst, began mapping the potential weak points. Her medical background gave her a unique perspective on systemic vulnerabilities. Suddenly, the ship's external sensors picked up an unusual energy signature. Something was approaching, fast. Incoming unknown vessel, the ship's AI announced. Technological signature matches partial obsidian reconnaissance patterns. The calm strategic meeting transformed instantly. Defensive protocols activated. Energy shields shimmered around the Star Weaver, quantum-responsive weapon systems charging with a low, threatening hum. Gia's reaction was instantaneous. Her neural implants connected directly with the ship's computer systems, creating a hybrid, technological defense network never before attempted. Human technological infrastructure merged with meridian quantum communication protocols. Do not engage primary weapons, Gia commanded. I can redirect their scanning frequencies. What happened next was nothing short of technological magic. Instead of a violent confrontation, Gia manipulated the incoming vessel's scanning systems. She created a complex quantum illusion, making the Star Weaver appear as nothing more than standard space debris. The reconnaissance ship passed without detecting them. Incredible, Siwoo whispered. You didn't just hide us. You rewrote their entire perception of our existence. Hyun recognized the profound implications. This wasn't just about survival. This was about understanding a completely different approach to technological warfare. The Meridian approach wasn't about destruction, but redirection and understanding. Hours turned into days. The crew watched in amazement as Gia systematically integrated her civilization's technological knowledge with human systems. Energy conversion algorithms, quantum communication protocols, ecological restoration technologies that could potentially heal damaged planetary ecosystems. Your species has remarkable adaptive potential, Gia told them. You solve problems through cooperation, not just technological superiority. The data crystal continued revealing its secrets, not just technological information, but cultural memories. The emotional history of an entire civilization compressed into quantum frequencies. Siwoo developed a specialized interface that could translate these complex quantum memories into human comprehensible formats. Each revelation was like discovering an entirely new dimension of existence. As stellar winds buffeted the Starweaver, something extraordinary was happening. Two civilizations, one nearly extinct, one just beginning to understand its cosmic potential, were finding a common language beyond words. The universe watched, waiting. End of Part 3. Would you like me to continue with the next part of the story? The Galactic Council chamber pulsed with tension. Holographic representatives from multiple star systems flickered like ghostly witnesses, their collective attention focused on a single transmission originating from the Starweaver. Gia stood at the center of the ship's communication hub, her silvery skin reflecting the complex quantum interfaces surrounding her. Beside her, Siwoo and Captain Hyun prepared to unveil the comprehensive evidence against the Obsidian Collective, a technological indictment that would shake the foundations of galactic politics. "We have documented proof of systematic genocide." Gia's voice resonated through quantum communication channels. Her data crystal projected a three-dimensional reconstruction of planetary destructions, each moment captured with devastating precision. The evidence was overwhelming. Planet after planet appeared, some barely inhabited, others thriving with complex ecosystems, all systematically dismantled by the Obsidian Collective's ruthless expansion strategy. Entire civilizations reduced to resource extraction zones, their fundamental ecological structures completely destroyed. Siwoo had spent weeks helping Gia compile the evidence, creating a presentation that went beyond simple visual documentation. Each planetary destruction was accompanied by quantum-level data, showing the complete ethical breakdown of the Obsidian Collective's operational protocols. "They don't just conquer," Hyun explained, his voice steady and authoritative. "They consume entire ecological systems, converting planetary resources into weapon components with complete disregard for sentient life." The galactic representatives watched in stunned silence. Some recognized systems they knew, others saw civilizations they had lost contact with decades ago. The presentation was more than just evidence. It was a cosmic autopsy of organized destruction. Unexpected technological interfaces began connecting. Civilizations that had previously been isolated or in conflict found common ground through this shared revelation. The Obsidian Collective's strategy of divide and conquer was being systematically dismantled by a simple presentation of truth. Gia's neural implants worked simultaneously on multiple communication channels. She wasn't just presenting evidence, she was creating a quantum network of collective understanding. Each transmission carried not just visual data, but emotional resonance that transcended traditional communication methods. Suddenly, an unexpected development occurred. A representative from a previously neutral star system stood up, their holographic form vibrating with controlled anger. "We demand immediate intervention," the representative declared. "The Obsidian Collective has violated fundamental galactic preservation protocols." The ship's quantum communication systems worked overtime. Diplomatic channels that had been dormant for generations suddenly activated. What began as a simple presentation was transforming into a comprehensive galactic response. Siwoo monitored the communication interfaces, his fingers moving rapidly across quantum projection systems. He was helping Gia navigate the complex political landscape, ensuring that the presentation remained factual and emotionally impactful. Their technological infrastructure relies on centralized quantum communication networks, Gia explained. "By exposing their communication protocols, we've created a fundamental vulnerability in their entire operational system." The Starweaver's computer systems worked in perfect synchronization with Gia's neural implants. They weren't just presenting evidence, they were creating a comprehensive technological disruption that would fundamentally alter the Obsidian Collective's ability to operate. Hours turned into what seemed like moments. The galactic representatives debated, analyzed, and ultimately reached a collective decision. The Obsidian Collective would be officially censured, their expansion capabilities critically limited. "This isn't just about punishment," Hyun reminded the Council. "This is about preventing future destruction, about protecting potential life." As the transmission concluded, Something profound had occurred. A nearly extinct civilization, represented by a single survivor, had managed to create a comprehensive galactic response against a seemingly invincible threat. The universe watched, waiting to see what would happen next. End of Part 4. Would you like me to continue with the final part of the story? The Starweaver drifted through a crystalline nebula, its engines humming with a quiet sense of purpose. 5 years had passed since the historic galactic confrontation that had neutralized the Obsidian Collective's threat. Inside the ship's central observatory, Gia stood watching the cosmic dance of stellar formations, her silver-blue skin now subtly intertwined with human-developed bioadaptive technologies. The Meridian Legacy Foundation had become more than just a memorial. It was a living bridge between human exploration and the remnants of her lost civilization. Holographic archives filled entire decks of the ship, preserving the scientific and cultural knowledge that might have been lost forever. Siwu approached, carrying 2 steaming cups of synthesized botanical tea, a ritual they had developed over years of close collaboration. Their relationship defied simple categorization. More than colleagues, less than traditional romantic partners, they represented something entirely new, a connection that transcended species and cultural boundaries. The latest planetary restoration project is showing promising results, Siwu mentioned, his fingers projecting holographic data about an ecosystem they were helping to rebuild on a distant colony world. The technology they had developed combined Meridian quantum healing protocols with human environmental engineering. Gia's eyes reflected multiple data streams, a testament to the biotechnological modifications she had undergone. She was no longer just a survivor but a living bridge between civilizations. Her neural implants could communicate with entire planetary systems, sensing ecological rhythms that humans could barely comprehend. Captain Hyun, now serving as the primary diplomatic liaison for the Meridian Legacy Foundation, entered the observatory. Age had softened his features, but his eyes remained sharp, a testament to years of space exploration and unexpected discoveries. "We've received communication from 3 new star systems," Hyun announced. "They want to participate in our ecological restoration programs." The transformation was remarkable. What had begun as a desperate escape had become a comprehensive galactic healing initiative. The Obsidian Collective's destruction had inadvertently created an opportunity for unprecedented cooperation. Gia's data crystal, now integrated with the ship's primary systems, continued to reveal secrets. Each day brought new discoveries, new possibilities, technologies that could heal planetary wounds, communication protocols that could bridge seemingly impossible cultural divides. Their current mission was ambitious, a series of quantum communication relays that would allow isolated civilizations to connect, share knowledge, and prevent future large-scale conflicts. It was more than technology. It was a living philosophy of survival and understanding. The ship's botanical gardens had become a living museum of interstellar biodiversity. Plants from dozens of worlds grew together, their roots intertwining in ways that defied traditional botanical understanding. Gia had developed specialized cultivation, techniques that allowed seemingly incompatible species to coexist and thrive. "We are not just preserving knowledge," Gia often told the crew. "We are creating a new way of understanding existence." Siwu watched her, understanding the profound weight of her journey. A single survivor had become the catalyst for a galactic transformation. The Meridian civilization might have been destroyed, but its essence continued, evolving, adapting, growing. The ship's quantum computers processed complex algorithms that mapped potential future scenarios. Each calculation was a delicate dance of possibility, showing how small interventions could create massive positive changes across entire star systems. As stellar winds caressed the Starweaver's quantum-responsive hull, something extraordinary continued to unfold, a new chapter of galactic exploration, a testament to survival, a celebration of unexpected hope. Gia placed her hand on the observatory's quantum glass surface. For a moment, the entire universe seemed to pulse in synchronization, a living, breathing entity of infinite potential, the journey was far from over. In fact, it was just beginning. End of Part 5. Epilogue. Would you like me to add an epilogue or discuss the story further?